They just don't get it. This president said in his interview on Fox today, this election was totally rigged. Data looks at it's obvious. It's totally obvious. There has been a lot of cheating, and that cheating came in several formats. Mail-in voting had a lot to do with it, but her Dominion voting machines, uh, part of Smartmatic and that bunch, for years has been not this. You want to win an election? Just pay them. Anybody win any election? They have spoken this on many venues, and since the election, the head people have all skipped town, refused to, not lying, you don't have anything to hide. These people are just the scum. They free election and a legal and honest vote is what this country's based on. What's happening, you got both barrels and all the guns manned and ready. And when I say guns, people, you understand, figure of speech. On the other hand, fight it out to the very end in the court. Take every opportunity to get your message out and let people know just how bad this is and what happened and how you're being sold down the river by a criminal and a criminal families that came before them in the names of Clintons and Obamas. These are criminals. They've proven that they're criminals. The media lapdogs are just incredibly silly. I remember watching my lovely granddaughter at the age of 1.5 stacking blocks. And some of my son's friends were over. Right now, you're going to put all women in, what was that one, the financial, I'll get the black female and yay, we're going to get her involved again. She's, yay, what days? And I've asked a lot of them, what do you think? What do you think? Because I don't want to impose on them. I don't want to shame anybody. I don't want to try and twist anybody's arm on this matter. But I want to know, what do you think? And probably the one that stood out the most, hooking me up to an EKG machine, chatted about how she just thought it was terrible the way Trump used Twitter. And so I asked her, I said, well, okay, yeah, he does that. And I'm sure it rattles a bunch of people. And I kind of get where you're coming from. On the other hand, I ask this question. Have you ever once thought there was a time when you did not know what that meant? And on the other hand, has there ever been a time when you thought that you knew where Joe Biden was trying to go to accomplish whatever it is he was doing in his basement? He never even got out. Damn, people fought every day the hard battles against insurmountable odds and against a media machine that it's always nothing. Let's take they get to the point where it's time to let someone else in. That's okay. Happens all the time. Not a problem. People pass, certify their elections, at which point the 270 number can't be reached by either one, at which point it goes to the House of Representatives, and at which point the Constitution is clear. Each state gets one vote, and Trump will be in. The other path is through the courts and into the Supreme Court. And every time you hear that a court case was lost by the Trump campaign, all that's doing direct paths there. And then the third, of course, is to get an honest count of votes, which might be practically impossible now because of all the bad votes that were intermingled with the good votes. And since they're not identified, you can't tell which one's good, which one's bad anymore. That had to be done when they were opened, and that had to be done in front of fair election officials from both parties. And we know it wasn't. And we know millions of votes were drug in the middle of the night when the counting was stopped in several states because Trump had that landslide coming.